Yes, guys, welcome back to the podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the Champions League spots, and we're going to be talking about the Champions League playoffs tonight. And that does involve Swansea versus Barnsley, and the other game involves Bournemouth versus Brentford.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how are you, mate? Obviously, we've got Tommy with us again, in case you guys didn't know.
Apologies if we both look a little bit sweaty. Just been to the gym.
I've just been to the gym, a good little gym session, just banged out. So yeah.
And obviously, new scenery.
New scenery. We are now finally inside, 17th today, and obviously the restrictions got loosened. Thought we'd move it inside.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if we get it kicked off with the Championship playoffs.
Start tonight, don't they?
They do indeed. So tonight we've got Brentford versus Bournemouth.
Yes.
So how we're going to do it is we're going to talk about the game in general, and then we'll do our score predictions at the end. I think that's probably the best way to approach it. How do you think both the seasons have gone so far for both teams? And do you think they've underachieved or overachieved on a whole, or what?
It's difficult because Brentford, I don't know, they've got a good squad, haven't they? And obviously Tony's been banging in the goals, so you could arguably say that they could have been going for promotion. And so same with Bournemouth, because obviously they just came down from the Prem, they want to go back up. And they've also got a decent squad, but then it'll be a good game. It will be a very good game, I think. But I think Brentford might come out on top. Because they've just got overall more quality. Obviously, Ivan Toney's just...
Ivan.
You could say either.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Brentford might come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think obviously what happened to Brentford last year, losing the playoff final to Fulham, which was a bit unexpected, to be honest, because Fulham didn't have as much quality, in my opinion, as that Brentford team did. And obviously they had Ollie Watkins, Saeed Ben Rama, both in that team, and obviously they failed to make the cut into the Prem, which was unlucky. But I think this year, at the minute, I do think they're my favourites to get through.
I'd like them to come up as well.
I've got a hot take for you. So, do you think Ivan Toney is the best ever Championship striker the Championship has ever seen?
It's difficult because I know he scored the most goals. Is it the most goals for a Championship season?
I think he's either level with Glenn Murray or he's just overtaken it. Yeah.
But you could
I think he offers more than Glenn Murray.
But what about the circumstances this season?
What do you mean?
No fans, less pressure. So he could have. You got to look at it that way. Because I'm not saying he wouldn't have scored that many with fans, but you got to. If you're comparing him to, like you say, Glenn Murray, who obviously is not as good as him these days, but in his prime he was banging in the goals and he was in front of fans as well. But
he did do it in the Prem as well for one season.
Yeah,
anyway.
Exactly. So don't get me wrong, he's a class player, Toney, but it's an interesting one. It is interesting. It
is. For me, he's definitely up there with the best ever.
Yeah, he's definitely
Championship striker.
Obviously, he got like Watkins last season as well, and
it will be interesting to see how he does in the Prem if they go up. Because for me, if he doesn't go up with them this year, he's getting signed.
Yeah. By
a Prem team for sure. But yeah, I think for me, if I was doing score predictions for Brentford versus Bournemouth tonight,
do you want to go home leg and then away leg?
Who's at home this leg?
I think Bournemouth are at home tonight. Let me just check that one.
Well, either way, I don't think it's going to make too much difference because I think
Bournemouth at home tonight.
No fans.
Yeah, no, it won't make much of a difference anyway. But
for me, I'm going to go for a draw.
Yeah,
in the first
I'd say draw.
I'm going to go 1-1 draw.
Then Brentford win second leg, I reckon.
So what's your score prediction first leg?
I'd go 1-1 draw.
So 1-1 draw from both of us.
Even 0-0.
Or 0-0. Bit boring, but we move. And then second leg, I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford at their ground, at their new ground.
Yeah.
Into the playoff final.
I think it could be the second leg. Brentford will want to They'll want that playoff final more, I think, and I reckon it could be a 2-0 or 3-0 second leg for Brentford.
Interesting, yeah. So in the end, we've both gone for Brentford to go through. So now we're going to kick it straight into the Swansea versus Barnsley. Obviously, Barnsley have done incredible to get where they are. Low budget recruitment,
so much,
incredible.
especially with that. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, I'd love them if Barnsley came up to the Prem. My God,
that would be incredible.
Would be insane.
It really would. Yeah, but I think for me, it's difficult. They're both two very evenly matched teams again, as you'll expect in the playoff final. But for me, I'm actually going to go with the very informed Barnsley.
Yeah.
I know that Swansea have arguably big game players in Ayew and Conor Hourihane, obviously on loan from Villa.
Yeah.
But I just think, for me, Barnsley are just going to go out there, got nothing to lose.
What would you... Say Brentford go through and Barnsley go through, who would you be backing in the final? Obviously, I would say Brentford, but then Barnsley have got a threat. But what are your views?
So, are you going Barnsley to go through instead of Swansea?
I agree with all your points, but Swansea also have a good squad, and
go on, if you had to pick one to go through, if someone's going through,
I would say I'd go with Swansea.
Oh, okay, so we're split on that.
Yeah.
So then, if we go through to the final, for me, I think either one who goes through in that second leg we're just on about, I think Brentford are going to win.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah. But with the unlikely chance that, say, Bournemouth go through, then I think whoever's in that second final, so out of Swansea or Barnsley, would go through it, would win the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So say if it was Bournemouth against Swansea, I think Swansea would win, or Bournemouth against Barnsley, I reckon Barnsley could do them.
Oof. Yeah, no, because I know Bournemouth aren't the best at the back.
They've
Steve
bottled
Cook's
it this
age
season.
and Carter Vickers are not convinced by.
They've been bottling it. They've had some poor results, and I just think in the
this
playoffs,
is definitely where they go and just win the whole thing, isn't it? Oh dear, no.
Brentford for me, going through.
Yeah, I agree. So obviously, let us know in the comments who you think will end up in the playoff final and who's going to win, playing who or whatever. But
we'll come back to this. We'll review it after the playoffs and
our predictions.
Yeah, we'll see.
Results,
see what happens. But So
good shout.
Just moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So in summary,
quick summary.
We can clip
it.
Yeah. So we can clip this when this obviously is going to be right from my end.
Subscribe to the TikTok as well. Well, follow, don't subscribe.
Yeah, so obviously that's called
Football Scoop. Get on it.
And obviously do subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
If you enjoy the content.
Obviously they enjoy the content.
Yeah. Stupid question, mate. Yeah. Stupid question. Yeah, so in summary, I think Brentford are going to go through after a 2-1 victory in the second game. And then I think Barnsley are going to go through by a 1-goal margin as well against Swansea.
Yeah, I think it will be Brentford that go through. They'll comfortably win the second leg, maybe 2-0, 3-0. And then I think Swansea will outdo Barnsley. I reckon. Who's at home first? I think it's Barnsley home first.
Barnsley, I think.
So I reckon Barnsley will win like 1-0 in the first leg, and then second leg Swansea will beat them and go through.
And Brentford win the final.
And then Brentford will win the final. I think we both settled on that. So
that's interesting. Right,
up the bees.
Up the bees. Right, so let's move on to the big one. Probably the one that most of you have been waiting for. That is who is going to get the Champions League spots for the Premier League. Obviously, we had Liverpool winning yesterday.
Yeah, this is the only thing that's being played for in the Premier League at the moment.
Big header from Alisson. Big header. Unit,
Striker's header.
Striker's header.
Proper good.
That is the best finish from a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Except for
in my lifetime.
Peter Schmeichel.
I don't remember that goal.
On the volley for Villa.
Don't remember it, mate.
Well, I wasn't alive,
poor.
but he's not a true Villa fan.
Don't give me this. Right, so anyway, into the who's going to win. So obviously Man City 83 points have wrapped up the title. That's a guaranteed finished. Man United are going to come second for me on 70 points. Leicester City played 36, got 66 points. Chelsea 64 points, 36 games played again. Liverpool 36 games played and 63 points. So there's a 1 point gap between Liverpool and Chelsea at the minute. And then obviously you have Tottenham Hotspur. 36 games played,
they're not a big
59
16.
goals.
I'm saying it.
Not a big 16.
No. Spurs and Arsenal, not a big 6 team anymore. They're big clubs, not top. There's big 6 and there's top 6. They're not.
Yeah. That's interesting.
They may be. I reckon they.
So just expand on that.
So
it's a big 6.
Big 6 are your Chelsea, Man United, City, Spurs, Arsenal, and
big fan bases.
Liverpool. Big fan bases, big clubs, franchises, and then you got your top 6, which I think has changed now.
Who are the inform winning teams?
Yeah. So you got Leicester in there now. This season, I don't know how it will fare next season or the future seasons. West Ham, but I wouldn't say they're an established top 6. But I reckon the last couple of seasons, Arsenal and Spurs have just been poor, and I think since the Champions League final, Spurs they've just been drifting down in terms of quality and how they play and the performances in the league. For me, I don't think they're a top 6 team anymore. I reckon it could be just the top 5 because Leicester have been putting in those performances. So let me know if you share those views because I think that's a valid point.
Yeah, a big 6 and a top 6. That's a really good point actually. I haven't really heard anyone use that analogy.
I did see something on Twitter the other day about people saying it's just a top 5 now.
Yeah, no, but I like that because I haven't actually heard that before, and that's interesting. So I think we'll definitely clip that and see what people make of it on TikTok as well. But anyway, so yeah, for me, obviously it's just the top 5. Tottenham can't make that Champions League spot. So really, they've all played the same amount of games, but obviously the big thing in there is Leicester do have to play Chelsea.
Yes, that's what I think.
That's huge.
I think Liverpool will nick it because they've obviously got to play each other, and one of them will have to drop points.
You see, Leicester have 2 points more than Chelsea,
and Leicester still have to play Spurs.
And that's huge. Yeah, but I think they can beat Tottenham.
Yeah, I think they can beat them, but it will obviously be a tough game. But
I
Liverpool
think
have Burnley and who they got last game of the season?
I'm not sure, but it's not anyone major again, I don't think.
No, I think it is.
So for me, I think that it's going to go Man City, Man United.
Palace, they've got, Burnley and
Palace in third, yeah. Palace in third.
No, Liverpool have Burnley and Palace remaining.
Yeah, no, they.
So
you'd hope they'd get 2 wins. Yeah, so for me, I think it's going to end up Liverpool in third. After the season they've had, that is a heck of a result.
Yeah.
To finish third with all the injuries. Nat Phillips at the back with Reece Williams, third in the league. That's ridiculous. Fair play to them. Fair play for Jurgen for getting that out of the squad as well.
I've got a question.
Go on then.
So say Liverpool had a fully fit squad for most of the season, so they'll have Van Dijk and Gomez and then Henderson as well. Where do you think they would have finished in the league?
If they had a fully fit squad the whole way through?
Obviously every team has injuries, but just...
I think second. Yeah, so only one place better than what they would.
Obviously, they did get torn apart by Villa and Ollie Watkins when
Gomez
and Grealish as well. When Gomez and Van Dijk were both playing as well.
Full strength team they had.
But then obviously they wouldn't have. That was just a poor performance by them. But I think after that they could.
More than a poor performance.
I think it was more of a good performance by Villa, if I'm honest. But yeah, I think if they kept them fit. Van Dijk didn't get snapped by Pickford. Then I think they could have been challenging City a bit more and challenging the league a bit more. Getting some.
I agree, definitely close that gap a bit on City.
Because their defence obviously is just. I wouldn't say let them down because they are young and having to call up Reece Williams and Nat Phillips in the Premier League for Liverpool as well. It's quite a big ask.
Yeah, no, I agree. So for me, I think Liverpool third, and then it's a toss-up between Leicester and Chelsea. It really is down to that one game. It really is.
Massive.
I think. Is it the King Power?
No, it's at Stamford Bridge. I think Chelsea might do them. They'll want to get one back on them for the FA Cup final as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think Leicester could end up missing. Oh, but the 2 points they have. No, but I backed Liverpool and Chelsea to win all their remaining games, and that will win it for them. Yeah. So if Chelsea beat Leicester, then Leicester are going to end up.
Liverpool are hyped up now, especially after Alisson's header. Because I was thinking, they're out of it now.
They're going to be ready though, Leicester. All they need is a point.
That is true.
Okay, actually, I'm going to go Liverpool third, Leicester fourth, Chelsea fifth. That's going to be hugely controversial, but I think because Leicester are going to get a draw against Chelsea, that would keep their 2 point gap. Then all they have to do is win their last game, and then that will put Chelsea into fifth because Liverpool will win the remaining
table. That is interesting.
A lot of people will disagree with me on that because Chelsea are a quality side, but I think their head's a bit gone by the Champions League final as well.
Yeah, I definitely think Liverpool will get in it. So it's either Leicester or Chelsea. I think because Leicester could beat Spurs, which should consolidate a Champions League place. Could they afford to lose to Chelsea?
Who, Leicester?
And then beat Spurs? No, they couldn't, could they?
If Chelsea draw their game after, they can. But I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah.
No matter who they're playing, I think they're just going to be absolutely ready for it if they win.
Leicester will have to get a point at least at Chelsea and then beat Spurs.
I think they get a point because Leicester's midfield is so good, as you've just seen against that Chelsea team in the FA Cup. Because that's where Chelsea rip your Real Madrid and stuff apart because Kante's just everywhere. But Kante will struggle against quality midfielders like Tielemans, incredible player, Ndidi, incredible. So I do think Leicester are definitely more than capable of getting a point.
It's going to be an interesting game, and I am looking forward to it tomorrow night. Was it 8 o'clock kickoff? Interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
With fans as well.
Should be a huge game, yeah.
That is actually. That's a good point. Chelsea fans will be there.
I just think Leicester have got enough to see it out, to be honest. They might have Johnny Evans back. I'm not sure how long he's out for. But I mean, Soyuncu's a unit, mate. Schmeichel putting off world-class saves.
They will be up for it, I reckon. I'm happy to go with Leicester, but then I reckon Chelsea could as well. But you got to wait and see, haven't we? Got to wait and see. Big game. I'm glad there's big games now left in the Premier League because it was getting a bit boring. Not much to play for. Yeah,
I agree because the relegation battle all done. So yeah. So I think in summary, Liverpool third, Leicester fourth, Chelsea fifth. For me, would you agree with that, or would you swap Leicester and Chelsea? Go on, throw it out there. Go on.
Oh no, but I don't want to say something deluded again.
Have some balls.
Because I could see Chelsea
deluded again. What that bit?
It's just if Chelsea win tomorrow, which is so possible, and they're at home, then they can do it, can't they?
Yeah, but I'd back Leicester to get a point.
Yeah.
And they have a 2 point advantage already. Mate, go on, throw one out there. Go on.
I'm saying Chelsea are going to get the 4th spot, and then Liverpool get 3rd, and Leicester will be in 5th.
There we have it.
I think Chelsea will nick like a 1-0 or 2-1 lead tomorrow. What's your score prediction?
1-0.
1-0?
1-0.
Alright.
Yeah.
Solid.
Simple as that, mate. Simple as that. We'll see, obviously, how that happens.
We'll be reviewing all of this in a week's time or so.
When I'm right on my predictions. No, we'll see. Yeah, but I think that concludes the video, guys. Let us know, obviously, what you think in the comments below. And how you would view the final game shaping up. And make sure to subscribe and leave a like on the video.
We've got a little announcement as well. We are not sure if it'll be next episode.
We're starting a merch line.
Yeah. No, I'm joking.
Nah, not yet.
No. We'll wait a few years. We are hoping to get a special guest on in the next
just a guest
couple of weeks or so. Yeah, he's not special.
Yeah.
I mean, he's special in some ways, but So look out for that.
Hopefully, we'll have another member giving us more delusional opinions.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, guys. But until next time, we'll catch you in a bit. Thank you very much for watching.
In a bit.
In a bit.